Unlike in Star Trek, we are actually happy to see the Borg in this case. You know what? That actually kind of works in two ways, because there's like this case and then there's like the PC case. And that's pretty, okay, anyway. When I took this commission to build inside of this PC case, I didn't really fully grasp what I was getting into. He had a budget in mind. I mean, even though this case was like 650 bucks, there was still a budget in mind, and we had to do the best we could to kind of figure and spec out what could ultimately go inside of a case like this. Here it is right here. This is the PC case, and just walking through this, I mean, it seems pretty straightforward-ish as it could be, right? Like here's some different pictures of the RGB. It also has like a built-in screen, which is actually kind of cool. But when you look inside of this, this is the picture right here. The motherboard kind of goes on the bottom here, and then there's these three fans, and that's it. Like, that's the cooling. And the version that we had here didn't actually have a place to really mount an AIO. And now before you jump on me and say it does, don't worry, we tried. The screws don't line up. Now funny enough, there actually is a second Cherry Tree Borg PC that does fit an AIO and probably a bit more PC friendly, but it doesn't include like a screen like this one. So here you can see right here, we're checking it out here. Here's the second one right here. It's a little bit more standard in terms of a PC build out, right? And like there's actually just quite a bit more cooling in this one. And you have like the front, but again, like I said, no screen. Oh, and the price is $399 versus $649, which was already a bonkers price, but this one is just a little less bonkers. So anyway, going back to the original case, we had to be really smart about what we were gonna put inside of this PC case. So after a lot of hemming and hawing and some thorough testing, this is where we landed with the budget we had. Let's put this build together and actually see how this whole thing turned out. Let's talk about the parts we are putting inside of the board. We're using a Core i5 12600KF. We're gonna use the Z690 Aorus Elite AX DDR4. So we got a 2 terabyte WD Blue SN550 NVMe SSD. We did 16 gigs, it's Ripjaw 5. We did the Noctua NH-U12A. We're using the GeForce RTX 3070. This is from the Zotac Gaming. So we wanted to use something that still had enough power at 750 watts. But wasn't as heavy, so the G6 was smaller. It doesn't have the SFF mounting, so this was gonna be our best option. So that is all of the parts right there. This is the rear part, and it has 3 Antec RGB fans that go with it. Let's grab our CPU. Time to get this inside of the case. We'll have to play with the fans to see what we get for best temps, but we'll start with this. They didn't give you any motherboard screws or anything, so we're gonna have to see, hopefully some of this stuff works. Just trying to get this last one in the corner. It's a little bit of a challenge in terms of doing the build. Got it, yes. Okay, so EPS is in. Whew. So it's a nice small GPU. Okay, so there's our GPU. Okay, they did not give us screws for the GPU, so hopefully one of these work. It's all sorts of skullduggery when doing this build. Lots of little things that make this just a little bit more challenging. Okay, GPU is secured, and then we just have the PSU to put in. I'm worried about this, dude. This thing has got like no support for PSUs. It's just gonna sit up here. Because it literally just sits like this, and that's it. Like that's all that's holding. There's nothing else to support it, which is kind of crazy. So I'm gonna see if I can get 3 screws for it. This does not like the econ mode on the PSU. I might have to choose a different PSU. Yeah, I don't want to Dremel it. That one, and that one will line up, but I don't get this one to line up because it needs to be there, and it's all because of this econ button. I mean, we could mount it for now and then Dremel it just so it has it. Maybe that's the right thing, because I think we want this PSU. We want something lighter. So I think we're just gonna do this for now, and then we'll Dremel it in the short term. Okay, the build is technically done. That's actually how the build sits. Power. Where's our button again? There it is. Okay, it's on. If you buy the case, boys and girls, search the crate carefully because everything you need is actually included, including the cables for the second screen. You might be asking, Robey, what are you talking about? Well, I was like walking around looking for like fan extensions, RGB extensions. Well, actually all of that stuff was in the crate. It was just hidden. Now I will say this case does take some patience to get apart, and proceed carefully if you do this build. These cases can be bespoke, meaning if you order the case after seeing my video live, it actually may be slightly different than what we had. Doing the build in the case is actually pretty straightforward. You just need to be aware of RGB cables that you need to connect to the case and to the board, and make sure the extensions included are going where they can reach without having any issues. How about the thermals in the cube? Is it like a hot box of death, like when the Federation engaged the Borg on the show? Well, you know what? It actually wasn't that bad either. We saw things under load up to a whopping 64 degrees, so no issue whatsoever there. And finally, for our GPU, which was a Zotac RTX 3070, we saw things getting up to 72. The case is full of holes, so air is actually able to escape pretty easily, so we think that does actually help with temperatures. One thing people did ask on the live stream, in the back 3 fans, if we change the directions around, will it actually make a difference, like 1 exhaust, 2 intake, etc. Now we did try a number of combinations, and in the end we didn't see any significant difference. And by the way, if you just want to see the live stream, remember, just check it out. I'd actually shown you that a little bit earlier. On that, we actually benchmark it live so you can actually see how the thing performed. Okay, so now that temps are done and you know the Borg Cube is actually a viable build, what did I think? You're not going to be putting like a crazy high-end system inside of this thing, but having a unique Borg build that really is like a showcase PC, that may be worth it to you. So coming in at over $3,000 for like a 12600K/3070 combination is a hard pill to swallow, but if you are a true Star Trek fan, and this is what you want sitting on your desk looking to be assimilated while you're sleeping and gaming, then this, my friend, may be the case for you. I'd love to know your thoughts and more, and maybe, you know what, you could win a little cash in the process. First and foremost, you just need to leave a quality comment down below, along with liking and subscribing to the channel. And when I say quality comment, it doesn't need to be positive, though, I mean, this case actually ended up being way more positive than I thought it was. It just needed to be something you liked or didn't like about the video. What surprised you about the Borg build, like the temps or anything else about the video? Just not, I deserve to win, and can you give me a free Borg PC, because no, the case is $700. You also need to ensure we have a way to reach you via your YouTube profile, like your email. So put your email in your YouTube profile, because we will be giving away $25 to one lucky comment below that is worldwide, as long as you can accept PayPal or Venmo. If you don't have your email in your YouTube profile, though, we can't tell you won, and therefore you just can't win. So what did you guys think of the Picard Borg PC? What did you think of the build? Is there anything that you would change? And would you pay this much for a case if it was like your favorite TV show or showcase or whatever it was? Love to know that all down in the comments below. Now, while you're down there, make sure you slap that subscribe button, whip that like button, and ring that notification bell so you get a notification each and every time we post a new video right here on Robeytech. Now, did you know we have a live stream channel for special builds and events? In fact, we actually built this PC on that live channel, so check out Robeytech Live down in the description below so you can like and subscribe and know when we go live and build awesome builds just like this. Do you have questions about this build or any other tech-related questions? And check out our amazing Discord server over at discord.gg/Robeytech, filled with other tech and PC enthusiasts that love to share their thoughts and ideas on these very subjects. Are you looking for cheap tech? Then check out @Robeytech.com or @RobeytechDeals on Twitter, where we have our guy Tom scouring the internet for the best deals on all things from like tech, video games, PC components to televisions. Now finally, you can also follow me and my entire team on all the other socials @Robeytech, absolutely everywhere. We absolutely hope you enjoyed this video, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.